Hello and good morning, everybody. My name is Sir Rafael, and I will be teaching you environmental studies for class 2. Now, everybody, take out your Wonder World textbooks and turn with me to page 32. Okay, we will be continuing our lesson about clothes. Lesson number 6, clothes. All right, so today, what will we be learning? We will be learning about materials for clothes. Have you ever wondered what your clothes were made out of? Right? So, today we will be learning about the things that our clothes are made out of. All right? So, materials for clothes. Clothes are made from materials like cotton, silk, and wool. They are available in nature. We get cotton from the cotton plant. The cotton is cleaned and then spun into threads. This process is called spinning. Threads are then woven into cloth. Now, are you wearing a t-shirt right now? If you're wearing a t-shirt, it is most likely that your t-shirt is made from cotton. Okay, so cotton is one of the materials that clothes are made out of. All right, now moving on. Wool comes from the hair that covers the body of a sheep. The hair is cleaned and woven into woolen thread. The woolen thread is knitted to make sweaters, mufflers, and other garments. Now, in the winter season, you will likely wear sweaters, right? What do we wear in the winters? When it becomes very cold, we wear sweaters, right? Sweaters and mufflers and other big puffed up things, clothes, right? Those clothes are made from wool. Okay, now, wool comes from the hair that covers the body of a sheep. So, we get wool from sheep, right? Now, let us move on to silk. Silk thread comes from the silkworm. Silkworms feed on mulberry leaves and produce long, sticky threads. They use these threads to build cocoons around themselves. Okay, now do you know what silk is? You might have seen people wearing saris or other such special clothes, right, that are not made from cotton and wool. Okay, sometimes some special cloth comes from silk. Okay, now silk thread comes from the silkworm. Okay, the silkworm is a tiny worm, right? They feed on mulberry leaves, and then they produce long and sticky threads. They use these threads to build cocoons around themselves. All right, so that is where silk comes from. All right, so let us try to remember what three materials are made. Sorry, what clothes are made out of from three materials: cotton, wool, and silk. Where does cotton come from? Cotton comes from the cotton plant. Okay, cotton comes from the cotton plant. And what about wool? Where does wool come from? Wool comes from the body of sheep. And where does silk come from? Silk thread comes from the silkworm. Cotton from cotton plant, wool from sheep, and silk from the silkworm. All right, very good. Now, yes, and we get silk from these threads. Silk threads are woven to make saris, scarves, and many other things. Okay, so, and then lastly, we have some materials to make clothes are made in factories. They are called synthetic materials. Look at that spelling, learn the spelling: synthetic. Synthetic materials. Okay, now Synthetic materials are not found in nature, okay? They do not come naturally. They come from factories, okay? These synthetic materials are from factories. Nylon and rayon are synthetic materials, okay? So we have three natural materials, and then also we have synthetic materials. What are the three natural materials that we learned? Cotton, that comes from the cotton plant, wool, that comes from sheep, and silk, that comes from the silkworm. Okay, right? So those are natural natural materials. And synthetic materials like nylon and rayon, they are made in factories. Okay, right. So let us move on. People who help in making clothes. Look at the pictures below. Look at the first person. You see the farmer below? Yes, the farmer grows the cotton plants. And then the shepherd rears the sheep for wool. Right? Do you see the shepherd? He's shaving off the wool of the sheep, right? The wool grows on the sheep's back, on the skin, and then the shepherd, it takes the wool from the sheep, right? And then the weaver weaves the cloth. And then the tailor stitches all types of dresses. And then the shopkeeper sells the clothes, right? So these are the different people who help in making clothes. The farmer growing cotton, the shepherd rearing sheep for wool, the weaver who weaves the cloth, the tailor who stitches all types of dresses, and then the shopkeeper who sells the clothes. All right. So we've come to the end of the lesson. Let's try to remember what we have learnt. Number one, we wear clothes to cover our body and protect it from heat, cold, rain, and insect bites. Two, we wear different types of clothes according to the season, occasion, or the work we do. Three, we wear traditional clothes on special occasions and festivals. 4. Some people wear special clothes called uniforms to work. 5. Cotton, wool, silk, nylon, and rayon are some materials that are used to make clothes. Alright? Now, for homework, I would like you to do the fill in the blanks and write yes or no, A and B. Alright? And then C, I will post in the WhatsApp group. All right. So thank you so much for joining me for this lesson, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.